that now, if you've been in this place, I don't know if all of you have been there, but I'm saying I long for you to be there, and I long to be in these places myself where I'm stealing away any chance I can to read His Word, to get into His presence, pray to God, hear from God. You carry the Word with you. You know, even when you're driving, it's on your seat. Like at red lights, you're trying to suck in a verse, and someone's like laying on the horn because it turned around. You're, I'm sorry, praise the Lord. You know, and you start trying to go again just because you're so hungry to hear from Him. If this is a mystery to you, I'm saying this can be a reality for you. I know this, the more I pray, the more I want to pray. But first and foremost, I have to find the time, at the risk of sounding mystical, you've got to get creative to set up that sacred space, even if it's just a short moment. Like when I was teaching back in Philadelphia, I worked in the church and the school. And sometimes there'd be all kinds of things that were happening in the school, right? Phone calls about suicide or domestics and all. And then I had to walk into a classroom and teach kids. And I had this moment, and it was when I touched the doorknob, I would take a deep breath, and I would pray what I call a breathe prayer. It only takes one breath, and I'd say, Thou knowest. Because I remember reading the scriptures, and I was going through the Psalms, and I saw how many times it says, Thou knowest. The Lord knows a lot of stuff. And like it was my way, I only had time for 2 words. But when I said those 2 words, Thou knowest, what I meant was, I'm not ready. My heart's filled with anxiety. Mentally, I'm still back in that office on that traumatic phone call, and now I got to get in front of these 7th graders who have their own traumas that they're going to talk about as we go through this, and I don't feel prepared. But And I take that deep breath, and I would turn that doorknob and step into that threshold with a moment of prayer before I entered into that space. And I'm trying to say to you, this is what